Hey everybody, this is David. I'm going to show you guys how to set up the photo booth. So come along with me. So we're going to start off with the black gator bag. This is where the base of the photo booth is at. So not only is the base, but also the stands for the backdrop. So we're just going to take out the base part now. So that's the tripod and then this pole here. So I'm going to start off putting that in. Okay. I'm going to open up the legs. Okay. And I want it to be wide enough where it's sturdy, it's not going to fall over, but not so wide where I'm going to have a hard time putting on the cover. Okay. And the idea is I want this to point. The front of it, I wanted to point to the opening that the feet create. And the height, I wanted to be just about 5.5 feet, and I'm about 5.5 feet, so that is perfect there. Okay. All right. That will do. All right. So next, I'm going to get the items that go on the photo booth. So they're going to be in this box here. This is how we built the kit. So we're going to need a power supply. That goes in first. We'll save this cable with the USB for the printer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start running all of the power cables first. So I got my first power cable, and as I'm going to see is there's a green little piece of tape on here that indicates that first power cable is going to be for the flash, because the flash has a little piece of green in there as well. Okay, so the next power item is going to be our camera. So the camera requires constant power, and I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And we usually have a little piece of Velcro. Can you pause it? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stick this on, and this has a dummy battery on it, and you can see it's red, so that means camera. And I'm just going to stick the power part, I'm just going to hold on to the dummy battery in my pocket for now. The next thing that needs power is going to be the Surface Pro, which is kind of like the brains of the whole thing. So things that I recommend checking is before you plug it in, make sure that this is in completely. If your Surface Pro isn't powering up, it's probably because that plug isn't fully in. So then I'm going to put this right in the middle. That's where the Surface Pro is going to go. Okay. All right, we got that. So next, I'm going to connect everything together. And the thing that you need to connect everything together is a hub. So the hub we're going to put in the middle. Okay, I'm going to put it right there. And the hub will connect the camera. And the hub you'll know because that's marked as yellow. So yellow, think of the middle being where we connect everything to. Okay, so I'm going to put this up here because that's going to connect into the camera, red. Okay. And then the printer will also be connecting to the hub because that's how we're going to let the printer know when to print as it's connected to the Surface Pro. Okay, so we'll just untangle this a little bit. Yellow, again for the hub. Let's connect that like so. All right. So those are all the initial connections. We're going to cover it up now to make it look pretty. And we'll finish it up here. So the cover, you'll see, has a seam in the back. Okay, so that's how I know it goes in the back, is when you see the seam. Okay, so what I do is I take the entire cover, I get to the opening like this, okay, and then I just put it all over. Okay, and I should let it hang out. And then I have a piece of Velcro there. I'm going to stick that too. I can let these wires now hang out like that. I can take the dummy battery that I have in my pocket and connect it now, because that's going to connect. And if you come on this side, let me show you. This has a little opening for the arm. So as you can see here, opening, put that through, and I'm going to fish out the two cables, the power supply for the Surface Pro and the connection to the hub. All right, so I got all of those. So now I'm going to put the cover over the feet, like so. Now it looks pretty. Okay, and then to the arm, you want to come on this side. To the arm, I'm going to put the holder, okay? And the way you want to put the holder is you want to put it so that these little teeth here will catch on, and not like this, because if you put it like this, what will happen is as soon as there's any weight on here, it'll fall off, okay? So you want to put it like that. Okay. And then what you don't want to do, I've seen this happen before, is a person will turn it around. Because if you do that, guess what's going to happen? It's going to fall out again. See? So, again, you just want to put it in like that, like so. Leave it that way. That's what we're going to connect. If it does need to be tightened, there's a little screw here in the back to tighten. You don't want to tighten too much, but enough where it's sturdy. Okay. So next, connect our flash. So our flash has green on it. We're going to connect, making sure that the flash is pointing outward, because we're going to use an umbrella diffuser. Okay, so, and what I want to do is I never want to just leave this hanging out and then tighten with one hand, because what if I didn't do it correctly? This will fall off, and if I break my flash, we don't have a whole lot of alternatives. Okay, so we're going to take the power supply of the flash. I like to make sure that it just looks presentable, and I don't want the wires hanging out all over the place. So I'm going to go ahead, and again, I'm going to hold on to the flash, and I'm going to connect. What I don't want to do is I just want to do it with one hand and then make the flash fly off, right? It is pretty sturdy, but you never know. Okay, so next is I'm going to connect the part that holds onto our camera. And some people have trouble with this. You know, all you want to do is tighten enough, so righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, tighten enough so that it has some bite. So like that's perfect there. So I'm going to move it just a little bit. And I want this to be pointing towards me, nice and straight. Okay. All right, that will work. All right. So next, we are going to connect the camera. So the camera is in the bag, nice and secure. Okay. We're going to take it here, and the tricky part about this is you want to come in and see. Is you're going to open the latch for the battery, because this needs power. Don't worry about an SD card. It doesn't need an SD card, but it does need power. So we're going to insert the battery, and there's a little lip here. That lip is going to allow the wire to hang out just a tad, just like that. Red and red, okay? And now this will have power. So I'm going to bring it over, and the way that I put it on this holder, you want to come over here, is you want to let it sit on top, And as soon as it completely sits, you'll see this close. That means it's locked in, okay? And all you have to do is close the latch. And as soon as you do that, this is secure. All right. Next, we're gonna take the wire that's red and red, to connect into the camera. So we'll connect here, okay? So, all right, we got it. We got that part finished. The next thing is we need the camera to let the flash know when to fire. And the way that's gonna go is we're gonna connect this little device that goes on top of the hot shoe. Okay. The way you know is this little wire piece is gonna be pointing to us. Okay, and it inserts from the back. You wanna go here? It inserts from the back forward, like that. You want to make sure it's all the way in, and then just tighten a little bit. You don't have to tighten a whole lot, okay? Just so that it doesn't slip off. I'm going to take this sync cord over here, and then I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to plug it in over here. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure that the flash is on, and then as soon as I connect it to power, we should see it power up. Okay, so next I'm going to connect the power supply, and once we do that, I'll show you how to set up the forgot to add adding the umbrella diffuser. So the way that's going to go is you extend the umbrella and you insert it in this little hole that goes in the flash, and then you just tighten just like that. There's a little screw that tightens right here. Okay, and there you go. That should get us what we need.